Good morning, students. Today we are going to start with Act 3, Scene 3. Before we start with this scene, let us have a brief idea of the points which we'll study in this scene. So what basically happens in this scene is that Alonso and his company, tired out with searching for Ferdinand, hear a solemn music and see several strange shapes appearing in a banquet. Before they can touch the food, the banquet vanishes, another of Prospero's magic tricks. Ariel confronts the three men of sin. Alonso rushes away distracted, followed by Antonio and Sebastian. All three are under Prospero's spell. So the major events which take place in this scene are that all these three sinners, who are the three sinners? Who can tell me the names of these three sinners? Yes, Aditi.
Stefano, Trinculo, and Caliban.
No, they are a part of the subplot. Who are the three sinners in the main plot? Stefano, Trinculo, and Prospero. They have not yet committed any sin. They have just hatched a conspiracy to do something.
Ma'am, Antonio, Sebastian.
Yes, Antonio, Sebastian, and
Gonzalo.
no, not Gonzalo. It's Alonso. Why Gonzalo? How is Gonzalo a sinner? See, Alonso and Antonio, they were responsible for throwing out Prospero from his dukedom 12 years ago. So they are the sinners. And Sebastian, because he was a party to that conspiracy, so he is the third sinner. So these three men of sin, that is Sebastian, Antonio, and King Alonso, who were involved in the sin of throwing away Prospero and Miranda from the dukedom of Milan 12 years ago, they will be made to realize their sin, means repentance, right? Ariel will come dressed as a harpy, disguised as a harpy, and will make these three men of sin, these three sinners, realize the sin which they committed 12 years ago. So this scene basically deals with the theme of morality. Here in this particular scene, Prospero will act as a moral preacher through Ariel. So what will happen after that realization? After that realization, Alonso, he will become almost mad. These three sinners, they will lose their senses. They will go crazy. They will become mad. And again, because of Prospero's magic, right? All these things will happen because of Prospero's magic tricks. And then they will start running here and there. And all three of them will be under the control of Prospero. Right? So they will be out of their senses, and their senses, their mind will be controlled by Prospero. Right? So it is like Alonso's remorse is the main thing of this, which will happen in this act. Ariel's speech disguised as a harpy, right? Making them realize their sins. That is another important point of this act, right? Scene 3, another part of the island. So this scene also takes place in the island. Who all are present? Enter in Alonso, Sebastian, Antonio, Gonzalo, Adrian, Francisco, and others. So the group of King Alonso enters this part of the island. Gonzalo, by Allah, I can go no further, sir. My old bones ache. Here's a maze straw, indeed, through forthrights and meanders. By your patience, I needs must rest. So Gonzalo says now, because they have been walking for a long period of time, and Gonzalo and King Alonso both are old, right? Gonzalo is very old. So what happens? He starts feeling tired. So he says, in the name of Bayer Larkin, means in the name of Virgin Mary, I swear that I can go no further. So he is completely exhausted, completely tired. And so he says that now, sir, I'm sorry, it's not possible for me to move any further. My old bones ache, right? My old bones, they are aching. There is a lot of pain. And so I cannot move further. Here's a maze shot. These paths, these ways of this island, they are like a maze. Maze means like confusing, right? So these paths, these paths and ways of this island, they are pretty confusing indeed through forthright. Why? Because they are a mixture of, they are a blend of forthright, means straight paths as well as meanders. Meanders means winding path, right? So the paths are a mixture of, we have straight paths also, as we have meanders. Meanders means the winding and the circular path, right? Which are curving. By your patience, I need must rest. And I am tired of walking all this while. And so by your patience means by your permission. Sir, I request you to please grant me permission to rest for some time because my body doesn't allow me to walk further. Oh Lord, I cannot blame thee. So because Alonso was also old, so he was also tired. He says, my dear old Lord, I cannot blame you, who am myself attached with weariness. So he says that you are not the only one who has been attacked by this fatigue, by this tiredness. I am also equally attached with weariness. Means this weariness, this fatigue has also taken over me, right? This fatigue has also attacked me. I am also feeling tired, to the dulling of my spirits, right? So along with fatigue, my spirits are also dull at the moment. Sit down and rest. So he says, let us sit down and rest for some time here only. Even here, I'll put off my hope and keep it no longer for my plan. So which hope is he talking about? The hope that his son is alive, right? So he says that now I am going to give up hope that my son Ferdinand is alive and keep it no longer for my flatterer. So till now, what was I doing? I was trying to deceive myself, right? I was trying to fool myself. Here flatterer means that fooling myself. I was trying to fool myself by believing that my son Ferdinand is alive. He is on this island. Till now, I was hopeful, but I don't think this is the case. And so not now what I feel is that I should give up all hope, and it's no use deceiving yourself. It's no use fooling myself by having some false belief of his son's survival. He is down. So he says that now I'm pretty sure we have been trying to search him on this island for quite a long time and he is nowhere to be found. I feel now I strongly believe that he is drowned, whom thus we stray to find, whom we are trying to find by moving here and there. The stray means searching, moving here and there upon this island. We are trying to find him, right? So we should give up all hope of his being alive because I strongly feel that he is drowned and dead. And the sea mocks our frustrate search and that. And the sea is also mocking at us that look, these fools, they are trying to search their, he's trying to search his son whom I have engulfed, right? They are trying to search him on the land who is down within the sea. So he's saying that the sea is also trying to ridicule us, trying to mock us at our fruitless search, right? Because we will not get anything. When the sea has already engulfed my son, I am not, I will not be able to find him on land. And the sea is also making fun of us. Well, let him go. And so Alonso somewhat convinced that his son is dead now, and so he says that now I should let him go, let his soul rest in peace. Now he is not alive, now he is dead, drowned in the sea, and so I should give up all hope and believe this fact that I have lost my son, that my son is dead. Antonio, I am right glad that he's so out of hope. So Antonio says that I am very happy that finally he has given up all hope of his son being alive. Right? Hope. So Antonio says that I am very happy that now he has given hope. Who is he here? Alonso. That King Alonso has given up hope of his son being alive. Right? And this he says to Sebastian. The others present there are not able to listen to this. These words which are uttered by Antonio. Do not for one repulse, forego the purpose that you resolve to take. So Antonio says that I am very happy that King Alonso has given up all hope of his son's survival. And then he further says to Sebastian that do not for one repulse. Repulse means defeat. Which defeat is he talking about? Which defeat is he talking about? Anyone? He's talking about the failure of their plan to kill Alonso and Gonzalo. You remember? The last act, they planned to murder King Alonso and Gonzalo. But what happened? What happened when they were about to attack? Ariel started singing in Gonzalo's ears, and Gonzalo woke up, and then he shouted, and the rest of the other people, they also woke up, right? So when they were just about to attack, so their plan failed, right? The conspiracy was spoiled by Ariel in the last scene. So that is what Antonio is talking about. He says that do not for one repulse. Repulse means defeat. That though we have been defeated, right? Our plans have failed in the first attempt, forego the purpose. But still we should not give up our objective. We should not give up our goal of killing King Alonso and Gonzalo that you resolved to effect. What did they resolve to effect? They resolved to kill Alonso and Gonzalo. So the answer would be that they planned to kill Alonso and Gonzalo. So they are talking about their plan. So what Antonio is basically trying to tell Sebastian that we will not leave trying. It doesn't matter that we failed in our first attempt, but still our plan is intact. And as soon as we get another opportunity, we will definitely attack and try to kill them. Sebastian, aside to Antonio. See, these words which are being uttered by Sebastian and Antonio, they are not heard by anyone else. They are secretly talking in one corner. So that is why it's written aside to Antonio. The next advantage we will take thoroughly. So the next advantage we get, the next opportunity which we get, we will make maximum use of this of that opportunity, and we will try to kill King Alonso and Gonzalo. Antonio, aside to Sebastian. Let it be tonight. So Antonio says that, so when their next plan is for that night itself. So Antonio says that let it be tonight, right? We will try doing it tonight itself. For now, they are oppressed with travel. Why? This is Antonio's reason. He says that now they are oppressed with travel, means now they are very tired, they are fatigued because they have been walking for a long period of time, right? So they are very tired. They will not or cannot use such vigilance as when they are fed, right? So they will not be so alert. They will not be so vigilant when they fall asleep. They will not be careful, and so we will get a good opportunity to kill them. So we are going to try killing them tonight. Right? Sebastian, I say tonight no more. So then they finally decide. He says, okay, fine, thumbs up. Tonight, plan is fixed for tonight. Tonight we are going to make our second attempt to kill Alonso and Gonzalo. So no more. Now stop this discussion. Now we are going to seal our lips and we are not going to talk further about it. Solemn and strained music. Then strained music is played by Ariel. Alonso, what harmony is this? My good friends. Ha. So everyone standing there, that is King Alonso and company, they listen to some music, right? Which was coming from an invisible source because Ariel was not visible to anyone. So they were only able to hear the music. So Alonso says, what kind of music is this? My good friends, my ministers, my followers, listen to this music. Hark means to listen. Gonzalo, marvelous sweet music. So Gonzalo says that this is extremely sweet, melodious music which is being played. Then what happens? Enter Prospero above invisible. So Prospero also enters in an invisible mode. He is not visible to anyone present there. Enter several strange shapes, bringing in a banquet. And what do they do? Several strange spirits disguised in strange shapes, they enter, and what do they bring along with them? They bring a lavish meal, right? Banquet means a lavish and a very elaborate and you can say a feast. They bring a lot of things to eat. They dance about it with gentle actions of salutation. And then they dance in a manner of greeting these people. Right? They greet these people who are standing there by dancing and inviting the king and others to eat Vilipap. Okay. So then what happens? They come there with a lot of things to eat, with a very elaborate meal. They enter the scene and then they invite. They make different gestures of invitation, right? They greet King Alonso and company and then they kind of using their gestures. They don't say anything, but with their gestures and actions, they kind of invite the king and company to come and start eating. So King Alonso is very surprised. And what does he say? Give us kind keepers, heavens. What were these? So, oh, so he's very surprised. He has never seen these kind of thing, right? So he's very surprised. He says that, oh, God has sent good angels. Kind keepers means angels. God has sent these angels to protect us from hunger, right? To save us from being starved. And then he doesn't recognize those strange shapes. Those are strange shapes, strange figures, and he doesn't recognize them. And so he says, what are these? What are these strange creatures which we see in front of our eyes? A living drollery. Now I will believe that there are unicorns, that in Arabia there is one tree, the phoenix stone, and one phoenix at this hour reigning there. So now they have seen so many strange things upon this island, and especially these strange creatures who brought the feast for them. So he says, Sebastian says, a living drollery. So because Alonso asked her, what are these strange creatures? So Sebastian says that it seems to be like a living drollery. What is the meaning of living drollery? A puppet show, a living puppet show, right? They seem to be puppets with life. These strange creatures, they seem to be puppets with life in them. Now I will believe that there are unicorns. So Sebastian says, now after seeing these creatures and after experiencing all the strangeness of the world on this island, I can believe anything. I am ready to believe even on the existence of unicorn. You know what are unicorns? They are mythological horse, right? Unicorn is a mythological horse with a horn on his head, other nose. Okay, so that there are unicorns. So he says that now I am ready to believe on the existence of unicorns also. That in Arabia there is one tree, the phoenix is stone, and I am ready to believe on the existence of phoenix also, right? Now, if anyone tells me that there in Arabia there is a throne on top of which Phoenix. Phoenix is again a mythological bird, right? So on that throne, Phoenix sits, and at this moment, Phoenix is sitting on that throne and reigning and ruling over the kingdom of Arabia. I am ready to believe that. After seeing these strange things, I am ready to believe anything which is incredible, which is difficult for any normal human being to believe. Any problems in here? So Sebastian says, I'm ready to even believe that at this hour some phoenix is reigning. Reigning means ruling over the kingdom, sitting on the throne and ruling. Antonio, I'll believe both. So Antonio also agrees to what Sebastian said. He says that I am also ready to believe both these things. I am also ready to believe on the existence of unicorns and phoenix, both. And what does else want credit come to me? And I'll be sworn just to. And if there is anything which is anything else which is incredible, or anything else which is unbelievable, or which people think to be fantasy, right? Far from reality, come with that thing to me. I am ready to take an oath. I am ready to swear on it that it is true. Now I am in a position to believe all this strange, all the incredible, all the unbelievable things which exist or which anyone can think of. Travelers never did lie, though fools at home condemned. So now Antonio says that these travelers, see what happened in those days. Transport and communication was not as developed as in the modern world, right? So what used to happen was that these travelers, they were the ones who went to different countries, different places, and then when they came back home, they brought stories of different lands along with them. And then the native people found it difficult to believe because they have never heard about all these different cultures, different people, different types of people, right? They must have seen only the people belonging to their own area. Now we know that there are different types of people in different parts of the world. They have different appearance, they talk different language, they talk in different language, they have different cultures, they have different traditions, their lifestyle is different. Now we know. But in those days, because there was no transport and communication, so people, they didn't rely on the stories which were told by these travelers because those were strange to them. So now Antonio acknowledges and he says that I'll be sworn just true, travelers never did lie. So all these travelers who used to visit different places and then brought different stories of different lands, brought them back home and told these stories to the native people, then these native people thought those travelers to be fools. And they looked at them with disbelief and criticized these travelers. But Antonio says that now I come to know that the stories of these travelers must have been true because this world is full of the strange things, the strange creatures. After coming to this island and after seeing these strange creatures, who were those strange creatures? Those were the spirits disguised in strange shapes. Spirits who work for prosperity, right? Gonzalo, if in Naples I should report this now, would they believe me? So Gonzalo says, yes, it's true. If in Naples, if I was in Naples, now if I go to Naples and if I narrate this story that I saw these kind of strange creatures, will the people of Naples believe? No, they will not believe me. They will think me to be a fool. If I should say I saw such islanders, for certain means for certain, definitely. These are the people of the island. So he says that if I go to Naples and if I tell the people of Naples that I saw these strange creatures on one particular island who were the islanders. Islanders means the people who inhabit the island. People living on an island are islanders. Who were the natives of this island, who belong to this island, For certain, these are people of the island, because there is no doubt that these are the people of the island. These are the inhabitants of this island, who, though they are monster shaped, yet note their manners are most gentle kind. Than of our human generation, you shall find many, nay, almost many. So he says that if I go there and tell people that I saw such strange creatures who were definitely the inhabitants of this island, who belong to this island, right? And though they had monstrous shapes means strange, ugly shapes, right? Yet no, their manners are noted. But their manners were gentler than the humans, right? Why is Gonzalo saying so? That their manners were gentle? Because they brought a meal for the stranger. Humans normally don't do that. So Gonzalo says that their manners, though they have a strange monstrous shape, though they have monstrous appearance, these creatures, but their manners are gentle. Right? Their manners are polite, their manners are full of kindness than our human generation in comparison to human beings. They are kinder, they are gentler than our human generation, that means our human race. Humanity is not so kind as these spirits, as these strange creatures. You shall find many, nay, almost many. So he says that there are not many human beings who are as kind as these strange creatures who brought food for us. And then he corrects or rectifies his own statement and he says, forget about many. It's difficult to find a single human being who will be as kind as these creatures who brought meal for us. Almost any. Almost means, any means almost, not even a single one. Not anybody is as gentle as these creatures. Prospero, aside, honest Lord, thou hast said that. Now Prospero is talking to himself. He's invisible, so these words are not heard by anyone. Whenever it is aside, it means that others are not listening. Whenever this aside is mentioned, it means that all the other people who are present there, they are not able to listen. So Prospero aside, and Prospero says this to himself. He says, honest Lord, thou hast said this. For some of you, there present are worse than others. So about whom is he talking about? Prospero is talking about, tell me, who are these devils? Kriti.
Ma'am, these devils were those King Alonso was thinking that my son, they have eaten my son.
Huh?
He's thinking about those devils.
Prospero is saying this is Shivangi.
Ma'am, the people of island, ma'am, the inhabitants over there.
Are worse than devils. Prospero says, honest Lord. Honest Lord. Who is Lord? Gonzalo. What did Gonzalo say here? Gonzalo said that these creatures, though they seem to be monstrous, but their manners are more polite than human beings. So Prospero says these words to himself, and Prospero says, honest Lord. He says, yes, whatever you said is true. Humans are not so kind. Honest Lord means honest Gonzalo. Lord is Gonzalo here. My dear Gonzalo, whatever you have said about humanity is true. And what has he said about humanity? That their manners are gentler than our human generation. Who's there? There is the creatures who brought that meal. Here, the strange shapes. These are the strange shapes who brought a banquet. So Prospero is agreeing to what Gonzalo said. He said, yes, whatever you said is true. Humanity is cruel. Thou hast said well. Whatever you have said is very true. For some of you that present, they are present, means he's talking about the group of King Alonso. He says that some of the people present here, they are worse than devils. He's talking about Alonso. Who are devils here? The devils here are Alonso, Antonio, and Sebastian, because they have acted like devils in the past by throwing Prospero out of the kingdom. What absurd answers you people are giving. For some of you, they are present. They are present means present on this island are worse than devils. So who are the devils present on that island? Who have behaved like a devil, acted like a devil in the past. Prospero's meaning is, Prospero is addressing his word, the word devils has been used for his own brother Antonio, because he was the one who was cruel, who was not gentle to his own real brother. And then King Alonso and Sebastian were also a party to it. So he's referring to these three people when he says that those some of you present here are worse than devils. Is it clear? Alonso, I cannot too much use such shapes, such gestures, and such sound expressive. So Alonso says that I cannot think of these shapes. I cannot imagine seeing these shapes in the past. These strange shapes which I am seeing at the present moment. I have never seen them in the past. Such shapes, such gestures, and such sounds. The sounds which these gestures, these strange figures, they are producing, I have never heard of those sounds also. I have never seen these gestures, the way they are moving their bodies, right? Expressing themselves through their gestures. They were not talking in their language. They were talking by their gestures. You know what are gestures? When you use your body to say something, to communicate something. So Alonso says that their gestures are no doubt wonderful, right? I have never seen these kind of expressions and these kind of strange features in the past. So muse means to contemplate, to ponder, to think, right? So I cannot muse, I cannot think of ever seeing these strange shapes, and it's like a surprise to me, right? So there is no doubt that I am shocked and surprised at, I am struck with wonder, right, at seeing these strange figures, shapes, and sound. Although they want the use of tongue, they want the use of tongue means, he says that they are not able to talk. These strange shapes which brought the meal, they were not able to. Wanting in something means lacking something. You will want something only when something is absent, something is not present. So want something means lack something. So although they want the use of tongue, they want the use of tongue means they don't have language. They are not able to talk a kind of excellent dumb discourse, but still they are able to communicate in an excellent manner by using their gesture. Whatever they want to say, they are able to express by using their gestures in an excellent manner. Right? So that is why it is like a dumb discourse. Right? Dumb discourse, the meaning of dumb discourse here is using their gestures to express themselves. Discourse means communication. Why dumb? Dumb because there is no use of words. Speech is not being used. Nobody is speaking anything. They are only using different actions to express themselves. So that is why it is a dumb discourse. Prospero, aside, praise and departed. So Prospero says, they hold on, why are you praising so much? Praise when they depart. Because according to Prospero's plan, these strange shapes, that is the spirits which are disguised as the strange shapes, they will disappear after some time. So he says to himself, again, these words are also not heard by anyone else. He says, why are you in such a hurry to praise? Wait, wait, they will disappear in some time. Francisco, they vanished strangely. And the moment Prospero says that praise in departing, right? Don't praise so much now. When they depart, then praise. When they leave, then you can praise. Francisco, they vanished strangely. And the moment Prospero says this, what happens? The spirits, they vanish. These strange figures which were dancing and creeping, and they brought a meal along with them, they disappeared. They kept the feast there, they kept the meal there, and then they vanished. They disappeared from there. Sebastian, no matter since they have left their viands behind, for we have stomachs, will please you taste of what is here. So Sebastian says, it doesn't matter, let them go, right? Let them disappear as long as they have left their food behind. Though they have left these strange shapes, they have left, but still they left their food, the food which they brought along with them, they have left there. So Sebastian says, never mind, let them go. As long as they have left their food for us, because they were very hungry. They have not eaten anything for a long period of time. So they were very hungry. And so he says that it doesn't matter because they have left their food behind for us. So even if they disappear, no harm. For we have stomachs. Why? Because we have stomachs, we have appetite, and we are hungry at the present moment. So more than these strange shapes, what we need food, and they have left their food for us. Will please you taste of what is here. Now see, because their king was also present. So Sebastian, no matter how hungry they are, Sebastian and others, they will have to first offer the king, right? King will be the person who will start the meal, and then the others will follow. Sebastian cannot go and just start eating. So he requests King Alonso that will please you taste of what is here, right? Will you please move ahead? This U is for King Alonso, right? He says that, sir, will you please go ahead and taste this food? Alonso, not I. Alonso says that, no, I don't want to taste this food. Any problem till here? Gonzalo, faith, sir, you need not fear. So Alonso, what did Alonso do? Alonso refused to eat. So Gonzalo says that, sir, what Gonzalo thinks is that Alonso is scared to eat that meal, right? He's afraid of eating. Right? So Gonzalo says that, sir, you need not fear. Don't be scared. Don't be afraid. When we were boys, we would believe that there were mountaineers dew lapped like wool. So he says that when we were quite young, right? When I was a young boy, what did I believe? I used to believe that there were mountaineers. There were people who lived on the mountains. The mountain people were there. Dew lapped like wool. Dew lapped means their skin. You must have seen a bull. The skin is hanging like a bag near the throat, right? So he says that they had thick necks with skin hanging like the bulls, whose throat had hanging at them. So from where the skin was hanging, the skin hanging from their throat, there were people. There were such strange people who had skin hanging from their throat area like that of a bull. Wallets of flesh. Wallets of flesh means bags of flesh. Right? Means layers of flesh hanging from their neck. Or that there were such men whose heads stood in their breast. And he even believed on the existence of such people whose head was directly fixed to their chest, means the neck was absent. Right? We heard stories of these people, and we believed in the existence of those strange people also, whose head was directly fixed to their chest, which now we find each putter out of 5 for one will bring us such good luck. So he says that when we were children, we used to hear such stories, right? Each putter out means traveler. Putter out here means the people who put out their foot from their country and go to different country, right? Which now we find it putter out of 5. So putter out of 5 means each traveler who used to go on journey by getting insured for 5 rupees, not rupees, 5 pounds, right? So by offering insurance for 5 pounds, so each putter out of 5 for 1 will bring us good warrantor. So these stories were brought by these people who took loans and who insured their journey, and then they brought these stories from different lands and we listened to their stories and we believed, right? So these stories, these strange stories were brought by these strange people, these travelers, right? And then they guaranteed, right? They were so sure about the existence of these people. So Alonso says, I will stand to and plead. So then Alonso agrees to plead. He says that I will go and I will, although my last. So Alonso says that I wish that this deal may be my last. Because now he has believed, right, that his son is dead. And so after the death of his son, he doesn't want to live. And so he says that I will stand to and eat. I am ready to go and eat. I am ready to start eating. But I wish that this meal may be my last. I wish that this should be my last meal. No matter, since I feel the best this time. Why? And I won't mind if this is my last meal. Why? Because the best part of my life is already over. Now nothing is left in my life. When my son is dead, my daughter is married to a far off country, what is left? For whom I will live? So he says, because the best part of my life is past. Right? That is already over. I have lived the best part of my life. And now nothing is left in my life. So it is better that this meal should be my last and I should not live to have another one. Brother, my lord, the duke, stand to and do as you. So then he invites his brother, that is Sebastian, who is Alonso's brother, Sebastian. So he invites his brother and my lord, the duke. Who is the duke? Antonio. So he invites his brother Sebastian and Antonio also along with him, and he says that let us move ahead and start eating the meat. Do as I. That is whatever I am doing. So all of you should come and start eating this meat which is being laid in front of us. This feast which is laid in front of us. So when they are about to eat, what happens at that very moment? Thunder and lightning. Right? There is thunder and lightning, and then enter Ariel like a heartbeat. So Ariel enters like a heartbeat. Please write the meaning of a heartbeat. Because at times they ask you and then you don't do. What is a harpy? A harpy is a monster having a woman's head and body. Harpy is a monster having a woman's head and body and birds, wings and claws. So you can say that it is a bird of prey having a woman's face or having the face of a woman. So Ariel enters like a harpy. Now he has taken the shape of a harpy and claps his wings, and then upon the table. Ariel enters, sits on the table where this feast was laid, right? And then claps his wings, means he moves his wings. The huge wings are there, and then Ariel starts moving those wings upon the table. And with a quaint device, the banquet comes. And then with a strange device, he uses a strange device, a strange instrument is used, and then everything is vanished. Everything disappears. Means all the food which was there on the table, it vanishes. The next speech is Very important. Please mark it as important. Variance is speech. It's a long speech. We'll start this speech on the next time. Right? We'll end the class here. Any